So we're into the top 4 teams now, the dominant teams so far this season, picking up the lion's share of points at every single Grand Prix this season. And we start with Mercedes in 4th place overall. Now Mercedes, if you asked me to grade them after the first quarter of the season, I probably would have given them a D, to be honest. I think they were quite disappointing, to say the least, really. They weren't that much ahead of Aston Martin, who I just reviewed now as well. But since then, the upgrade package has been working with them. It took all the way until Canada for them to get their first podium of the season. But since then, the pace of the car, particularly around high-speed circuits, has been so impressive. George Russell, yes, I admit he was fortuitous at the Austrian Grand Prix to win, but still picking up the pieces when Max Verstappen and Lando Norris collided to win his first race of the season, and also Mercedes' first race too. Then after that, Sir Lewis Hamilton, absolutely on merit, deserved to win the British Grand Prix. And then, of course, not a bad result for Lewis in 3rd in Hungary. No win for them there, but still getting a win at Belgium. And it would have been a Mercedes one too if it wasn't for that mistake with the tyres allegedly being the reason for that. I've done a full video on that. You guys seem to love that video. It's our best performing video actually on the YouTube channel, going over the real reason why George Russell was disqualified from the Belgian Grand Prix, apparently down to tyres basically. But if you want an in-depth discussion, that's on there. But the fact remains that Sir Lewis did manage to win that race, and Mercedes go into the summer break having won 3 of the previous 4 Grand Prix. They're in 4th place overall in the championship, which in itself I think is disappointing. They finished 2nd last year, so this is a big drop off from that in a sense. But it's so competitive. McLaren and Ferrari have really raised their game this year overall in terms of points tally. Still, it's a big points gap up to Ferrari, but given the pace of both teams, I think Mercedes are going to be the hot favourite to be able to get 3rd in that Constructors' Championship as things stand. I think that upward trajectory as well is a key factor in my decision making when it comes to the grades overall, because you might say it's recency bias, but this momentum, this improvement that they've shown, let's take the schoolroom setting, because I am dressed like this. So if you start with absolutely no clue what you're doing at a certain class, and you work your way up to be, a pretty good or a passing student, a B grade student or whatever, for example, that shows real improvement. And I think that's impressive. And I think Mercedes' last 5-6 races, you'd be tempted to give them an A grade because of how much the car has been in terms of its performance. It's been extremely impressive. Overall though, you have to take everything into account, and at the end of the day, it was arguably a team error that caused George Russell to be disqualified from the Belgian Grand Prix, and they did start the season poorly as well. It was a big downturn in terms of performance. So with that in mind, I'm kind of sitting on the fence a little bit with this, but I'm going to say Mercedes get a B grade overall, and I'm giving Hamilton and Russell a B grade as well. Hamilton I was tempted to give an A because of his recent victories, but at the same time, by his own admission, for the first part of the season, he was not performing on his A game. So I think it'd be a bit unfair to give him an A grade because of that. If I could go into certain subgrades, for example, I would probably give him a B+. George Russell as well has been so unlucky at times. The retirement at Silverstone, the disqualification at Belgium. The disqualification at Belgium, despite what some people think, I don't think it's his fault. He was going for the victory. If you're a Formula 1 driver and you're not going for the victory when you can get it, what are you doing? He is doing what he does. He's a winning driver, and for me, he's shown that he's ready to lead Mercedes next year after Sir Lewis Hamilton leaves and after Kimi Antonelli probably comes into that 2nd seat as well. So Mercedes, for me, if they overtake Ferrari and continue their upwards trajectory, if they get some more victories through the rest of this season, I'd be tempted to give them an A grade, but it's tough to grade them that high because they got 2nd last year in the championship. It all depends how close they are to Red Bull. If they're beating Red Bull every now and again as well, I feel like that shows massive progress at the end of the day. So I've gone B's all around for Mercedes, and on to Ferrari next, which is sure to be a spicy one.